Let's dive in. The big question we're tackling today is, well, is Amazon Redshift still automatically the best choice for your cloud data warehouse?
Yeah, that's a huge question right now.
Or should folks really be looking hard at alternatives, like Snowflake or BigQuery?
Exactly. And this decision, it's not just some technical detail, is it?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
It really hits your bottom line, your speed, your whole data strategy going forward. It feels pretty high stakes.
It absolutely is. I mean, choosing a cloud data warehouse or CDW, it's become such a core strategic move for companies, especially those going through digital transformation.
Right.
And Redshift, look, it has strong history. It's been the go-to for many AWS users, particularly for handling really complex queries on large data sets.
That's a perception for sure.
But the landscape, it's evolved. There are powerful new options out there now. So the question isn't just what can Redshift do anymore.
It's more like,
It's more what's genuinely the best fit for you, considering where you are now and crucially where you're headed.
okay, so let's break that down. Where does Redshift, still really excel? What are its core strengths today?
Well, a big one is definitely its deep integration within the AWS ecosystem. That's still compelling.
If you're already heavily invested in AWS, you mean?
Precisely. If you're all in on AWS, the way Redshift works seamlessly with services like S3, especially for cost-effective data staging, which is sort of a nuanced benefit people sometimes overlook,
Uh-huh.
and then Glue for ETL, SageMaker for machine learning.
Hmm.
It's a very powerful combination. It's really built for those heavy-duty SQL workloads.
Okay.
And it has become more flexible recently, with things like Redshift serverless and the RA3 nodes. They give you more granular control over compute and storage resources.
So better resource management than before.
Yes, which makes it still a strong candidate for complex business intelligence queries and large-scale data processing if you're operating primarily within that AWS world.
Okay, that makes sense. But I keep hearing this criticism about needing a lot of sort of behind-the-scenes work. Like you have to really tune it to make it sing. Is that fair?
That's a very fair point, and it's probably one of the most crucial distinctions. Redshift often requires a deeper understanding of its underlying architecture to get optimal performance.
What kind of understanding are we talking about?
Well, things like setting up distribution keys correctly, choosing the right sort keys, configuring workload management WLM, which is basically how Redshift prioritizes different types of queries running at the same time.
Right, managing the traffic.
Exactly. You need to get into those details to really make it fly, especially at scale.
And how does that compare to, say, Snowflake or BigQuery?
Generally, platforms like Snowflake and BigQuery tend to abstract away more of that complexity. They often require less hands-on tuning and optimization from the user side for many common workloads.
So the level of active management needed is a key difference.
It's a significant difference, yeah. Redshift gives you dials to turn, which is great for fine-tuning, but you need the expertise and the time to actually turn them correctly. The others often aim for more automation in that area.
So the takeaway there is just assuming Redshift is the default choice, even if you're an AWS shop, could actually be a bit of a misstep. You might be signing up for more work than expected.
Precisely. Relying only on, brand recognition or maybe what worked 5 years ago, that can be risky.
Mhm.
Past success doesn't guarantee it's the optimal choice now.
Mm.
That's why a structured vendor-neutral assessment is so important. You really need to look hard at your specific actual workloads.
Not just theoretical ones.
Right. Your real data usage patterns, the skills you actually have on your team right now, and your genuine long-term data ambitions.
Okay, let's connect this up the chain. For the business leaders, the VPs, the C-suite, what's the real-world impact here? How does making the right CDW choice versus the wrong one affect business outcomes?
It's huge. Connecting this to leadership.
Yeah.
Getting the CDW choice right can lead directly to significant efficiency gains. We're talking faster insights, better decision-making across the board,
And cost savings.
and potentially major cost reduction. Absolutely. Faster queries often mean less compute time build. Simpler management can mean less overhead. But get it wrong.
Yeah, what's the downside?
Well, the flip side is a poor fit can lead to, frankly, ballooning expenses. Costs can spiral if the platform isn't efficient for your specific use case or if it's hard to manage.
And performance suffers.
Performance suffers, which means slower insights, frustrated analysts, maybe missed opportunities, and worst case, you could find yourself needing a really disruptive, complex, and expensive replatforming project just a few years down the line. Nobody wants that.
No, definitely not. Okay, so that's the view from the top. What about for the data professionals, the engineers, the analysts, the scientists actually working in these systems day to day?
Yeah, for the data folks, understanding Redshift's nuances is incredibly valuable if that's the platform they're using.
Hmm.
Being skilled in optimizing it, like tuning those queries, managing the clusters, effectively makes them really key players.
So Redshift skills are still in demand.
Oh, absolutely. But at the same time, broadening their horizons is also smart.
How so?
Well, getting familiar with other major platforms like BigQuery or Snowflake really increases their versatility. It makes them more adaptable, more valuable in the job market, especially as more companies adopt multi-cloud strategies or look for architects who understand the whole landscape.
Right. Being able to compare and contrast and design solutions across clouds.
Exactly. It's about understanding the trade-offs and knowing which tool is right for which job, not just being expert in one silo.
So wrapping this up then, it sounds like choosing your data warehouse. It's a really significant long-term decision, not something to be taken lightly or based on assumptions.
Absolutely. It demands careful thought, proper evaluation. It's definitely not guesswork. Your data platform is foundational.
So if business leaders or data pros listening want to, get deeper into making this kind of critical decision or understand the nuances better, where should they turn?
That's a great point. For a much more detailed look at this comparison, the trade-offs, and how to approach the evaluation process, folks should definitely visit Curate Partners.
Okay.
You can find the full article we base this discussion on, plus ongoing updates, because this field changes fast.
Good advice. So I guess the final thought here is it really boils down to being intentional about building a smarter, future-proof data strategy, doesn't it?
Perfectly put, it's about being strategic.
Stay curious, look beyond the defaults, and really choose your data path wisely.